These are some of our judges. So we have here Ivan, he's a senior software engineer in Meta. We have Arun, he's a senior software engineer at Google. We have Vlado, he's the founder and CTO of Hillsphere Technologies. We have Bobby, he's the co-founder of International Space Alliance. We have Mirza, the co-founder and CEO of EWA Robotics. We have Avinash, he's the solution architect manager for NVIDIA. We have Shesha, he's the senior telecommunication architect, network security leader. We have Olivia, she's the CEO of Spiral Labs and Rika Systems. And then next slide. We have Theo. He's the lead software engineer at Tesla. We have Marina. She's a mathematical modeling research assistant at Minerva University. We have Siddharth. He's the founder and CTO of Crudo AI. We have Ankit. He's the principal product manager and machine learning ranking platform Walmart e-commerce. We have Pronoy. He's a software engineer at Autodesk. We have Tim. He's a product manager at Google. We have Malachi. He's a mechanical engineer at NASA Ames Research Center. We have Akash. He's a staff software engineer. So some of them could make it this Sunday with us, and we're so grateful to have them. And yeah, I'm gonna invite all of our judges on the screen to tell us a bit more about who they are, what they do, and highlight each one of them individually so you see how incredible and how diverse of professions they have and all of their incredible achievements. So we can start with Olivia. Hey, Olivia, if you can, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, my name is Olivia. I run a company that makes weather sensors and AI weather models, specifically for cloud seeding. And if people don't know what cloud seeding is, you can slightly increase the amount of rain or decrease the amount of rain to prevent severe weather events. So we do a lot of the research concerning that.
That's so cool. And maybe one more question. What is your background? What is your expertise? Maybe a bit more.
Yeah, a lot of my work experience has been in mechatronics, paired with machine learning. So I used to work at a self-driving company, and actually used to do a lot of hackathons. So really enjoyed what you guys have put out for NASA apps.
Thank you so much, Olivia. Our next judge is Bobby. Hopefully, he can share more about himself. Bobby, tell us who you are, what you do, and a bit more about your background, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Bobby. I'm co-founder and part of International Space Alliance, where I handle much of the technical work and development that powers our global initiative. Besides that, I also work as a software engineer with hands-on experience in the defense sector, where I worked on building secure, high-performance systems that combine innovation and scalability for clients like NATO and RFA. So also at ESA, at the International Space Alliance, I focus on developing tools and platforms that support STEM education. So that's that about me. And also, I'm part of the Space Apps initiative for I think 5 years now. I've started in 2021 in Cleveland, and from 2022, I'm also part here in Mountain View. I was before mentor organizing team, but now I'm also a judge.
Bobby is actually modest. He's our lead judge. He knows the ins and outs of all of the judging, and he used to do so much about space apps in his free time. Our next judge is Mirza. Do you want to please let our audience and our participants know a bit more about yourself, your background, etc.?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Mirza Samdani. Right now, co-founder CEO of Ivar Robotics. Before this, I worked at NASA JPL for 2 years. If you don't know what JPL is, it's another center, one of the other two centers in California. We are here in SoCal, and anything to do with robots in space is done by us at JPL. And I worked on a bunch of like robotics projects, like the EELS, the snake-like robot, which is meant for Enceladus. I worked on Swim, which is it's a small, tiny robot that's meant to go whenever we get there next 20, 25 years, meant to like go on Europa and slide through the ice. And once the melt probe goes under the surface and reaches the water, these are these small, tiny little rovers or these robots that will go and look out for life. So a bunch of work that I've done is with like extraterrestrial robotics in space. I've also worked on a mission that flew to the International Space Station with CRS-26. We looked out for if life was to be grown on space, how different does it grow? So I was part of that project. Yeah, apart from that, I used to be a participant in hackathons and NASA competitions for like 3 years, and now I've judged more than 9 of these competitions. This is the third year doing space apps. First year doing Mountain View chapter, but super excited to seeing your work and working with y'all.
Thank you so much. That was so inspiring. Next judge is Marina. She's also a senior member of SpaceX here. I think just like myself, she has also been a part of a participating team. I think even winning, and then a mentor and a judge and an organizing teammate. But yeah, Marina, please introduce yourself and let them know a bit about you, your expertise, and your history with Space Apps.
Yeah, of course. So, hi everyone. My name is Marina. I am a junior at Minerva University. So, hopefully, there are more Minerva participants today. I initially joined NASA Space Apps 2 years ago. So, early my freshman year, we were a team of 6 people, and it was our first hackathon in the Bay Area. So, we're very excited to join, and together we built a solution that got the first place. And then the following year, I joined as a mentor, and now I'm really excited to be here back as a judge. My background and what I'm interested in is I'm in applied research, more specifically in things that join theory and applications with machine learning and mathematics. So currently, I am working as a research assistant for mathematical modeling.
Thank you so much. And our next judge is Avinash. If you can please let the participants know a bit more about yourself, your expertise, who you are, etc.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Martina, for giving me the opportunity to be a judge. This is my first time judging the Space Apps competition over here, and extremely, honored to be a part of this. I'm a solution architect manager at NVIDIA, and I work with cloud service providers and hyperscalers. So I know that's a lot of jargon, but basically what we do over here at NVIDIA is we have our GPUs. And sometimes GPUs are hard to use, right? What I do is I help our customers and GPU users accelerate and optimize their workloads on GPUs. And not only that, it's also about picking the right GPU, picking the right server, making sure the server has the right networking. So what we do is we give recommendations and prescribe solutions that includes server platforms, next generation liquid cooled data centers, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, because now the water has to come in, they consume so much electricity, and make sure we're able to guide them to build energy efficient data centers, right? Because we want to make sure we're conserving energy, we're making sure the AI, race today does not destroy the planet, right? So we need to make sure we're green. We need to make sure everything's properly optimized for the best use of our limited resources here on Earth. Before NVIDIA, I used to work at LinkedIn on search and recommender systems. I have a background in civil engineering and computer science. I've done a dual degree. And once upon a time, I used to build oil rigs as a civil engineer. So from one cool technology building oil rigs to now building AI data centers. That's kind of my background. And thanks, Martina, again for having me as a judge today.
Thank you for joining us. We have a pool of incredible people for judges just because the Bay Area is quite competitive and the talent pool itself is quite renowned. So we needed exceptional talented judges to join us, and we're so grateful to have all of you contributing. You're an essential driving force behind our hackathon, and we're thrilled to have you. And thank you for your patience. We were supposed to be in a location, and we always have this scare with the government shutting down every rebudgeting year, and now it happened. So we needed a lot of that adaptation, and we're so grateful for your flexibility. But our next judge is Akash. If you can please come on and share more about yourself, who you are, and your background, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Akash. So I was just last year also NASA, and also I'm judging MLS like every month for like around 2 years. And I have like around 20 years of experience in information technology. And I worked on various domains like finance, healthcare, real estate, and presently I'm working with automobile domain. So we are building software that enable people buy cars more easily and car dealers serve them more efficiently. Since it's a business to business, people not be knowing, but our software is responsible for more than 2% of US GDP go through our software. I hope I'll get to see some interesting projects today, and best of luck, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for being a returning judge. We love judges that have legacy and support their hackathon as their own initiative. So, almost as a part of the organizing team, we're so excited to see you coming back, and it's always so lovely to have you. And our next returning judge is Arun. Maybe you can speak and let us know more about who you are, what you do, maybe just experiences from last year and how the judging was. And I think now we're distressing the participants. They can just focus on their challenges, submit, and not have to also pitch. We're going to review that on a prolonged period of time. So maybe just a bit more about this year and last year.
Hi, Marina. Thanks for having me here. Actually, last time was so great that I had to join this year again. It was an amazing experience, like offline joining everyone, seeing all the teams, all the adrenaline rush, and people pitching in real time. That was an amazing experience. I think this time I am already going through some of the projects and they're looking better. And I would say like they're really complicated, and I'm like kind of amazed by how teams are pulling these off. So I look forward to judging them all. So a little bit background about myself. I'm a tech lead at Google. My team is responsible for building large language models that power Google's core business, the search ads. So the first few results that you see on the Google search page, they are actually delivered by my team. These models are responsible for like multi-billion dollars in revenue. So I'm very excited to work on these projects, and there's a lot of learning. So I have a lot of experience around machine learning, building these language models, how to use them right, how to use them ethically, and that's what I'm here for. So if anyone needs any help on these kind of things, I'm here to help. Let me know. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Arun. We love being with our legacy judges again, just because they get more experienced as they judge, and we need more experienced judges by like growing our location and having a better, bigger talent pool each year. But our next judge is Tim. Tim, please get on board to talk more about yourself and your career. Just tell us more about who you are.
Hi everyone, super excited to be part of this hackathon. It's my first time judging at Space Apps, and I heard very good things about it, so it's so very excited to dig in and see all the projects. I am a product manager at Google. I focus on our software experiences on Pixel phones and specifically working on taking our large language models capabilities and making them more proactive and personal. There's a feature called Magic Q that I've been working on this year that basically understands the user's personal context and then using our on-device models suggests contextual information or action to the user. So quite excited to see where the projects are going, and especially those that might work within some technical constraints and how they creatively solve them.
Thank you so much, Tim. That was lovely to share. Our next judge is Siddharth. Please welcome Siddharth with any emoji on the screen as well. I've seen those coming from you guys, so thankful for the interactions. But Sid, please let our participants know a bit more about yourself, your experience throughout the years, and just a bit more about your judging process, perhaps.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Martina. And first, I'd like to just congratulate all the participants that took the time out today to build something new. I mean, so this creative act is how we really focus this muscle of building and how we get the next era of innovation. So, like, really excited to see what you all build. And a bit about me. I primarily work on making human and computer voice interfaces better. Currently, I'm starting a startup called Crudo AI. But previously, I was working on speech and conversational AI systems at Google. Worked on a few things like Hot Word and Voice Match, which is when you say "Okay Google" and it triggers your devices, and on products like Google Assistant and Gemini Live. And speech and audio is pretty interesting because it's a very fuzzy sort of input compared to something like typing, which is way more precise. And often the same thing might be said in different ways by different people. For example, like a Gemini versus a Gemini, which might be said by different people. So, like, you need to do a lot of things to handle these things correctly. And it's important to do that because, like, when it fails, it's really frustrating to the user, and that's really important to do when you're serving and getting to serve millions of people every day. Uh, and before that, like, I have a background in computer engineering, and I've been fascinated by computers for, I think, as long as I can remember. Something about the inherent composability of uh, a code and how, like, blocks can be made to form something grander and bigger. So yeah, excited to see what you all build.
Thank you so much, Sid. That was so lovely. And our next judge is Vlado. Vlado, if you can come on and let us know a bit more about yourself, what you're building, just if you had any hackathon experience in the past, and just more about your background, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So super excited to be here. I'm currently the co-founder and the CTO of a Y Combinator-backed company in the energy space. So we kind of collect a lot of data for people having large-scale solar farms and other types of energy, and we just let them essentially interpret and look at that data. Before that, I was the lead software engineer in Palantir's geotemporal team. And funny enough, I worked a ton with Elasticsearch back in those days. So it's really cool to see them as a sponsor here.
Yeah, and we had a presentation yesterday on how they can utilize some of their tools to help our participants, which is so cool. But if, folks, if you need any judges that know how to integrate Elastic aside of our Elastic teammates, just please reach out. I am sure you're gonna find our judges on Slack and on Discord. They're already all there. But thank you so much, Vlado. And our next judge is Ankit. Please, can you come on and say a bit more about yourself, your background, and any experience you think that participants might find relevant?
Thank you, Martina. Hey, all. Excited to be coming back. This is going to be my second time judging the NASA hackathon. Had a really great time, as Arun also mentioned. Like we were there with Akash and with Sisha. So, yeah, and the energy was like amazing last time. And so, yeah, really excited to be come back here and judge and see the awesome work that the teams are doing. To give a background about myself, I have 20 years of background in data and AI before it was cool to be in AI. Uh, Started my journey in Bay Area in 2013, where we built fraud detection systems to help identify doctors who are committing fraud and bring them to justice. So yeah, so that's how I started my journey in Bay Area. Then have worked across some startups in the e-commerce space. Then worked at companies like Upwork. Worked at companies such as Best Buy. And before this, when in the last hackathon, I used to work for the company where Akash works right now, CDK Global. We were the largest car dealership software company. So I led all things AI there from the product standpoint, like Gen AI, classical AI, applied AI, an AI platform. So had that experience there. And currently I'm working at Fortune 1, Walmart.com, specifically working at a product called Buy Box. So if you think about any product that you try to purchase on the Walmart e-commerce, if there are multiple sellers, so my product ranks those offers so that we make sure that we show you the either the fastest offer or the cheapest offer, and we do a lot of trade-offs across using our machine learning system. So like really excited to be here, and I give my best of luck to the team and excited to judge all the different cool projects that we're going to see.
What I love about our judges, especially our returning judges, is that they find a way to stay in touch and collaborate and loop everybody in. I love that about you guys. We are so grateful for the everlasting support. A year through year, you're coming back and you're making us pick the best and the brightest solutions that are really innovative and then would and we can utilize for humanity or for even NASA to review. We have such a peak talent here in the Bay Area. We have quite renowned people helping us judge, and that's not an easy task. So we're so grateful for your time and for supporting our hackathon. We're so proud to have Ankit and all of his buddies here. But yeah, our next judge is Theo. Theo, if you can also share a bit more about yourself, who you are, what's your background?
Everyone, my name is Theo. So I'm a software engineer lead at Tesla. And so I work specifically on large scale machine learning, specifically for health modeling of our electronics device. So a very cross-discipline problems, very challenging, working with people with different backgrounds, different expertise. So a lot of fun. And so my background is in mathematics, computer science. I would say I originally was more fundamental, and then I went more into the applied path slowly. So I spent a good amount of time in AI labs, actually, most of my education. Before it was cool, actually, as well. So it was the beginning of it being cool. Um, and overall, my interests really lie in developing robust, interpretable, and scalable models and systems. And it is the first time being a judge for this event. Very excited to be part of the event. I think it's just so much technology and science and fun. So very excited to see what you guys have been working on and just overall be part of the judge. Thanks.
Thank you, Theo. Yeah, this year we have 19 challenges. We usually have around 20 to 30 challenges, and they are changing each year as the agency and collaborative agencies have pressing issues to solve for Earth and space. And they change every year, and they're designed by NASA experts, and it's so cool to have industry then judge our winning teams that are using NASA data and give them ideas. So I've left a Discord link. I know that all of our judges are on Slack, but in the chat you also have a Discord link if you want to peek or interact with participants if you have the time to see what they're doing throughout the day or how they're solving a problem, or if you want to provide your invaluable expertise. We'll make sure our team gives you a judge role so they can like see who you are and kind of like interact with you and maybe even ask for assistance or help or a question, or maybe like where to pivot their idea if they cannot decide. So that's going to be really invaluable on top of the judging, but we don't want to stress them. I'm actually um, it's always great to have this event in person, right? You get to experience NASA Ames and all of the NASA leadership and mentors and judges that are supporting us. Sometimes we even have astronauts coming on board that are NASA acting astronauts that have really rare. Their schedule is packed, such a scarce time and bandwidth to come, yet they still come, especially the locals one. But this year, at least the stress is gone just because when participants have to both hack and pitch before they have to submit, that's kind of stressful. So we're giving them more time. And I think that as a team, although we had an unfortunate government shutdown, this is a great contingency plan just because we can now hack. They can have the support remotely. They can be in their comfy bedroom, college, whatever dorm, cafe that they like. And then we can actually have a winning ceremony at NASA when it reopens. So I feel like we were forced into kind of like a better solution. But yeah, thank you so much, Theo. I think we also have Shesha from the judges. And if I've missed anyone, please let me know in the chat. Shesha, would you like to come on and say a few words and talk about a bit of your background before we do the Q&A and just ask the judges what's the best? Oh, okay. So Shesha said he's experiencing audio issues, but he's extremely happy to be back to the NASA Space Up Challenge as he's a returning judge as well. And he can't wait to witness all of your amazing projects. And kudos to all of the teams who have come this far. And a little bit about himself. Shesha, he's telecommunications architect working at Cisco, focusing on making the network infrastructure stronger and more reliable for the AI and the gigabyte traffic that is growing at an exponential rate. He has been doing this for the past 15 years and he's happy to help teams with any questions that they might have. I'm just gonna resend them the Discord so our judges can like peek. Please be mindful of their time and be mindful of all of our volunteering time. For the volunteers and the mentors supporting you, they're gonna get to you. Just give them a bit more of a breathing time. I know you all guys want to hack and solve it immediately, but just be a bit more patient. But yeah, I'm not gonna put you guys on the spot too much right now, but I do want to ask a general question, and then with a raise of hand or whoever wants to speak first would help. I know that some of you were participants of hackathons. Some of you are first time judging, but I know that all of you are great technical experts in your field or just experts in whichever field you're representing. Not necessarily technical, but we would love to hear more about, let's say, what does a good project look like? I know that participants are hacking different 19 challenges, and I'm gonna link you that in the chat just so you can browse again. But what do you think as a judge makes a good technical solution? What is like the most optimal thing based on your experience? And this can be a general kind of like notion that can guide them. It doesn't have to be a specific challenge related thing. But with a raise of hand or just coming on first to speak, please let us know. I would love to hear from any single one of you and help the participants kind of like guide their thoughts of what would a great solution look like. And Mirza is raising his hand, so please, Mirza, go first.
Yeah, sure. So I'll share in terms of like the hackathon first, but then also like globally, like as a general solution, right? So I think when you are looking, let's say you have selected one of the many themes, dissect down into the problem statement, right? Like and what do I mean by dissect down is like read the problem statement and break it down into smaller problems. Don't cater to that statement as a whole problem. I'll say, for example, like I think one of the themes is exoplanets, right? So first try to break it down that what is an exoplanet? Why are we interested in exoplanets? And then try to dive deeper into solutions that okay, like I'm gonna dissect down exoplanets and maybe work with an AI model that can help detect life on an exoplanet, right? So don't just like cater to it as a whole, but then break it down. And then once you break it down, be more systematic. I think most of my panelists and my co-judges will agree that being systematic about approaching a problem is very important. And this is something I learned the hard way that I used to like throw everything together and be like, okay, the people are smart, they'll figure it out. But if you do the extra effort to
Same.
like lay it down systematically, then the judges are like, oh my God, he gave us all the information that we needed. So like, okay, check, and you're good to go. So that's just like a small piece. I think documentation is the critical part because you may have done an excellent work or excellent project, but like if you do not communicate that effectively, then it's like you're losing points just for that communication part. So I would highly recommend that spend a good amount of time in your presentations or your video because you can have an amazing data set, but if you don't communicate that well, then I feel like it's not doing justice to your work that you've put in. But yeah, that's it.
I agree. No, I learned that the hard way myself, so I absolutely agree. But next up, we have Marina. Marina, please share your thoughts.
Yeah, sure. So in my case, I wanted to pretty much echo the previous advice about breaking down the problem statement and understanding the problem really well. But also from a participant perspective, I would like to give the advice of leveraging to the skills of your team. So in my case, our team was quite big and we had many different backgrounds, both from ranging from physics to machine learning to creative to something more creative. So I wanted to just make sure that if you and your team you have those different skills, that it's very valuable that you bring all of them into your project and that eventually this can lead to a really good presentation, a really good pitch, and also that's really well founded technically as well. And perhaps also think about not to be too nervous about bringing up an ambitious idea. At first, I thought, well, if we could do something that's very grounded, not too creative. But actually, over time, as we developed the idea as a team, we decided to go for something that was more ambitious and that had a higher impact for the problem statement we were solving, which at the time was about wildfires. So I would really encourage that you really leverage into your creative skills, as this is also a judging criteria so that you can create something that's really impactful and different and that really catches the eye for everybody.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. Thank you so much, Marina. And next up, we have Bobby. Bobby, what do you think? We can't hear you.
Oh, my mic was off. So, my tips will be more like SpaceX related and how the global judges are judging the projects. So, first, the project needs to be creative. It has to be something new, or existing or improving something that's already existing. So yeah, be creative people. Also, it's important how realistic it is and does it have real world applications? Also for the judges, because this is a hackathon sponsored by NASA, it's very important to use the NASA data as a core element of the solution, not just as a small portion of the data as an add-on, but it should be like the core element of your solution. And also, bonus tip, use those 30 seconds or 7 slides to sell yourself as best as possible because that can change pretty much everything. You can sell yourself better to the judges.
Yeah,
That's
and I
that from my
think
side.
I think not only NASA data, but also the other space agency data that you can utilize, that's
Yes.
greater. And I feel like that goes in a lot of aspects of the space sector, even for grants that sound really ambitious. You want to satisfy the grant application when you're writing that when it's R&D, but have a little bit of a creative element to it. Maybe not too crazy to pivot really far away from that idea or be not within the budget. So even in your maybe later if you also pick a technical career that's connected to research and R&D or whatnot, you're gonna see this a lot. You're gonna have a problem to solve and it's gonna have a certain set of rules. So you have to satisfy those rules, but sprinkle a bit of yourself there in the most creative way possible. So that comes in a lot of facets and you can really hone your skill on hackathons. It's just practice. We're not gonna judge you. We're not gonna say it's a bad idea. Everything goes here and you can just test the trial and error. And this is the best way to learn and grow, at least in my opinion. That's how I started being in the more proactive in the space sector. And then I've went from just a participant as well to mentor, volunteer mentor, judge, organizing team to the point that I could single-handedly judge all of the hackathons and ask extremely all of the challenges within the hackathon and ask extremely technical questions just because of that repetitiveness and learning and you get new challenges every year so you kind of like when you're looped in as a judge mentor whatever you grow into that role and you hone in more novel expertise knowledge whatnot. But thank you so much, Bobby, and next up we have Vlado. I would love to hear your advice as well.
Yeah, so hopefully this is useful for the hackathon, but also outside it. And that's, validate things early and often, and get to value as quick as possible. So, if you have a solution that you think can work, go for it. Don't over-engineer it because, with hackathons and with tech, things always fly by and you want to get to value and to show that your concept can work as well as possible.
I absolutely agree, and I will ask my team if they maybe have chat questions from participants, and if not, we can just give them a bit more of advice. So, outside of making the solution quite technical, what do you guys as judges think is the best way to be innovative but still stay on the topic? Do you maybe have some advice for that, or any meaningful contributions of how to satisfy something that's technically already far out there, but you don't want to go overboard perhaps, but just still be innovative and creative. How does one go about that with raise of hand? We have Mirza and Marina. Please go Mirza, and then we'll follow with Marina. Thank you.
Sure. So that's a great question. I think staying innovative, I think is taken, quite literally. Innovative can be if you, let's say, like I'll give an example. There's ICESat, right? ICESat is a NASA satellite which gives you ice coverage over the whole Earth. Let's say if you want to like predict ice melting glaciers over the next 20 years because of global warming, just throwing out an out a example. Uh, let's say if you want to use ISAT data to solve for X, that's a straightforward solution. Now, where the innovation comes in is you're gonna say, oh, I'm gonna try to create an ML model that can do the prediction for me with 5 different scenarios, and I'm gonna apply regression to it or make my own classifier that can train the data that I want it to be, in my way. So that's where that's one way to be innovative, right? That you are combining one or two sources. Now, another source is you look at some localized data. There's a lot of localized data from ArcGIS and other sources, which you can combine with satellite data, and then that's your, innovation. So that's one way of being innovative, but still, sticking to the problem. Uh, but yeah, if I have more questions, happy to answer that.
Thank you so much. What about you, Marina? What do you think?
Yeah, so I would definitely agree on the aspect of combining different sources of data so that you can eventually have something that's more reliable and it combines everything that's been offered during the hackathon. I also would highlight that to remain with an innovative solution, you can always try to connect with something that already exists, that exists on Earth, for example. If you're trying to create something for exoplanets and trying to create something that already exists here on Earth, and then you apply to something at a larger scale. Like I would say in our example for when we created our solution for the hackathon was we started from just visualizing something that already existed at airports, a system for guiding airplanes to land based on a light system. And then we wanted to incorporate that for something that could help people find a safe place in wildfires using NASA data. So I would definitely also recommend that you also look into other things around you from like your experience or that you've already seen before and that you apply to the challenge you're solving because you can get some really creative ideas out of it too.
Thank you so much. And now I'm not gonna frame questions or the narrative. I would love to hear any other advice from judges related to hackathons, making great solutions, winning a challenge in all of those aspects for the judging that we have. If you have any additional advice, just raise your hand and we're gonna platform you here so they can hear from you and also join our Discord because that way participants can tell you what challenge technically they're solving and then you can kind of like give them your background and expertise and knowledge to perhaps aid that, but please if you have any other advice raise your hand so we can hear from you. Go ahead,
Uh,
Arun, we'd love to hear from you.
I think a lot of like everyone has talked about the cool things, the innovative things. I like to just add that, uh, make a submission. Like when you start with an idea, I think that idea is like amazing. You try to capture every aspect of it, but by the time when the clock is ticking, it feels like we have not made much progress. And but I think I'd still say that like making a submission is more important and getting something out there that can just be a presentation or just like a very high level idea as well. I think that is important, and a lot of things can be built on top of that. But just want to share that this feeling is common. Like in every hackathon, when you start, you have like tons of amazing ideas that and you want to do everything, but doing everything is not possible. So that is expected. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I don't see other raised hands, but that's great advice. The problem is that first draft most for most of us. Once you start it and you get the juices going, it's gonna be better, you know. But yeah, thank you so much for all of the judges. I would love to have you all on camera now to have a collective judging panel photo so we can feature it across our socials. So please turn your camera on and do a big smile, and my team will take a photo and they will let you know when we're done. So cameras on and 3, 2, 1, smile. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for our renowned judges for making the contributions of this panel today and for their hard work in reviewing all of your projects. As you've listened to Arun and the rest, submit all of your projects on time and then you can obviously edit it until 11:59 p.m. tonight. So 23:59 tonight. That is the last minute of the submissions and submit early. Sometimes the website can glitch. The government is shut down, so we don't have a lot of support on hand. So we're doing our best to maintain this lifeline and then have this hackathon happen, but submit early. The earlier the better, so we have everything recorded and then you can edit, but don't wait until last minute, please. And we'll have our judges join both on Slack and on Discord in case you have any other questions, and they will be hard-earned work for the picking out the winners. The more submissions we have, the merrier. The more of you can be nominated for global nominations and perhaps even win the globals. Now we have a insane talent pool here in the Bay Area, and we're so happy to see that. But yeah, thanks again for the judges. And now we're gonna switch to the further programming so you can hear more about our collaboration with Microsoft.